Hello and welcome to Utilitas Energy Matters podcast. My name is Martin Long. It's here we speak to people across the business to give you more information about energy matters that matter to you. We cover the topics that you ask us about the most, and we share anything we think you need to know about too. We've taken a break since our last episode on the energy crisis, as we've been working hard to get through what has been, and still is, a difficult time for the business, for the industry, and what we know is a very difficult and worrying time for households across the UK too. Today we're talking about one scheme that exists to help towards the cost of energy for those who may be struggling to pay their bills. This is the Energy Matters podcast number 6, and we're talking about the Warm Home Discount for 2022 and 2023 in England and Wales. I'm pleased to be joined by Utilitas Head of Customer Experience, Russell Lane. So thank you for joining me today, Russ.
You're welcome, Martin.
So first of all, can you tell us a little about your role in relation to the Warm Home Discount?
Yeah, sure. So I look after customer experience for Utilita, and Warm Home Discount in particular is a very important payment for a lot of our vulnerable customers. And for me, it's making sure that we get those payments down to those customers' meters or onto their bills with as little effort for the customer as possible, and that we make sure that everything is done on the dates that we said that it's going to be.
So for anyone that doesn't know, can you tell us what the Warm Home Discount actually is?
Yeah, sure. So the Warm Home Discount, known as WHD to a lot of people, it's a government initiative, and what it does is it helps low income and vulnerable households with their energy costs over winter. This year's payment is slightly larger than last year's. It'll be £150 this year, and it's funded by the energy suppliers, not the government. And I think that's really important to understand that it's actually your supplier that makes that payment to you. The Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, now commonly most of us know that as BEIS, is responsible for the Warm Home Discount policy and its legislation.
Right, okay. So, well, there's been some big changes introduced for this year's scheme, I believe. So can you explain what those changes are and what that means for our customers in England and Wales?
Yes, that's right, Martin. So this year, customers that live in England and Wales will no longer need to apply to their energy supplier for the Warm Home Discount. Data sharing between the government and energy suppliers means that most eligible households will receive the discount automatically this year. So customers that are automatically eligible will receive a letter in the autumn, or they may be asked to call a helpline to determine their eligibility and provide some more details. If advised to, it's really important that you call the helpline before the deadline stated in the letter, otherwise you may actually miss out on the payment.
Okay, yeah, definitely worth doing then. And so how is the payment actually made?
So once the government actually tells us who to pay, we're aiming to follow previous years and split the £150 payment to help spread the cost of energy further during the colder months. So for customers who have prepayment smart meters, we will send the money straight to the meter over 2 payments. And for customers who have key or card meters, they will receive an energy voucher, again over 2 payments. And it's important that the customer's details match those that we hold, as we can only pay those customers whose names matches those held on our accounts. So for customers that receive the energy vouchers I mentioned earlier, they will need to take proof of identification that matches the name on the voucher that we send them.
Right, okay, I see. And so what's the key dates? Can you just remind us of those key dates one more time?
Yes, so we will actually make the payments over December and January. The first payment will be made between the 16th and the 30th of December, and the second payment will be made between the 13th and the 31st of January. And the deadline criteria for those eligible is that they must have a live or have had a live account with us on the 21st of August 2022.
Right. And so what about anyone that's applied but is unsuccessful? Is there anything, what can they do?
So there will be no application process as such this year, but if they do receive a letter from the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, to tell them that they haven't been selected for this year's criteria, they will need to give the DWP a ring, as we will only be paying the customers that they tell us to pay. So the telephone number for DWP, should customers have any queries, is 0800 731 0214. And that helpline itself will be open between the 14th of November this year and the 31st of March next year.
Okay, that's great. And so only one more question for you. If anyone does need any more information about the Warm Home discount, what's the best place for them to find it?
We have dedicated information regarding this year's scheme at utilita.co.uk/WHD and also on our community page, which can be found at community.utilita.co.uk.
Thank you so much, Russ. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
You're welcome. Thanks.
That was Energy Matters. Thank you for listening. And again, if you want more information on today's topic, you can visit utilita.co.uk/WHD. And if you haven't already, do join Utilita's online community at community.utilita.co.uk. For help with anything else, visit utilita.co.uk. All information is correct at the time of recording.